Good morning. It is Sunday, February 28th. It's the last day of February, and I am at the park in my hometown. I uh, don't really have anything that I for sure wanted to talk about. Just wanted to say that I'm getting ready to run. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I think it's like 7:02, 7:03, and I don't know why I'm winding these up because I'm getting ready to like unwind them, but instead of just kind of shoving them in my pocket and going. But anyway, it's like roughly 50 degrees. It was like 46 the last time I checked, 43, something like that, and I am going to run around the park. So this is the park that I like to run in. There are a couple other places here in town that are nice to run in or around, and this is probably my favorite because there is a lot of trees. There are a lot of trees. I was like, where's the camera? There are a lot of trees, and is also a little body of water. And then there's across the way over there, there's a little road. Whoops, there we go. There's a little road across the way over there where it kind of cuts the water in half. So anyway, it's super peaceful. It's so nice outside. I've been waiting for it to get nice. That way I can actually enjoy like running outside because I can run in the cold. That is a thing that I can do. So used to looking over there for my camera. But I would much rather run. I would much rather run when it's warm enough to where my hands won't freeze whenever I get to running. And yeah, so I can handle the breathing part. Sucks whenever it's super cold. It's like burns your lungs and stuff. But the worst part for me is like when my fingers get cold, because like when I get to going, it's usually so warm that I get so warm that I feel like I want to take off the layers that I've got on, but my hands are the only ones that never seem to get like warm enough. So anyway, like I said, it's about 50 degrees. It's probably risen since I looked at the weather this morning around like 6:30, and it is just super, super nice outside, and it's like a perfect temperature. And it even said on my running app my weather app, that running conditions were very good. So a little wet because it looks like it rained. It might just be, well, I'm pretty sure it had to have rained. But the snow appears to have melted. And again, February 28th, we're getting ready to head into spring. And it feels amazing out here. It smells fantastic. There's just something about like fresh morning air, like no matter what time of the year, fresh morning air is just something special. But specifically right now, or rather particularly right now, like when it's about springtime, like the air is just fantastic. So I'm really digging this tree over here. It's just a really beautiful tree. So I'm one of the weirdos. I like trees, and I mean, it's not weird, but I'm weird. And that, like, my sister calls me a hippie because I love trees. I love trees, and just they're all unique, kind of like us. We can all be kind of similar. We all have that similar kind of structure, but we're all unique. So they're just special. But anyway, so I'm gonna get to it. So my goal the last couple of days. And within the last week was kind of to get back into running. I signed up for a charity race. I will talk about that more. I recorded a really, really long video at the beginning of this week. It was like 40 minutes, and I was like, I got to cut this down before I post this. So that's that. And but I was talking a little bit about the charity run and a couple other things that I've done. But I did sign up for a charity run, and my goal for that run is 10 miles. So I am trying to work myself back up to where I can run longer periods of time. The longest that I've run, I think, was about like 2.5, 3 hours, I think. Whenever I ran 7.5 miles, and that is the longest distance that I've run nonstop. So my goal for this charity run is to run 10 miles, and I am trying to work myself back into that, and it is so mentally challenging. It is so mentally challenging because every day when that alarm goes off, I have this battle with myself. And this is nothing new. This is literally nothing new. I've had this problem almost as long as I can remember, as far as being an adult goes. So, because when I was younger, I had no problem getting up. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so that battle goes on in the morning whenever I get up. And sorry, it just smells amazing. The air is just wonderful. So anyway, yeah, so at the beginning of the week, I set some goals for myself. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna run 5 minutes today. 5 minutes is my goal. I have to run 5 minutes. That's my quota for today. 5 straight minutes, and then it doesn't matter what I do after that. So I did. I ran for 5 minutes, and I think I went ahead and pushed it to 6. And then the next day, my goal was for 6 minutes, and I ended up doing 2 bonus minutes. So I ran for 8 minutes straight. The following day, the goal was for 7 minutes, and it was 8 minutes straight again that I ran, which was cool. So it was a bonus minute. And then yesterday, my goal was to run 9 straight minutes. And I was just tired and kind of beat down. And what I've been doing is when I'm at the gym, on the treadmill, I will run for whatever time that I tell myself that I need to run. And then after that, I will start reading whatever chapter that I need to read in art appreciation, so that I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So while I'm reading that chapter, I'm walking on the treadmill, but I try to get that like quota in for running. And today I needed a nice nature break, and it just happens to be perfect temperatures. Last night it was beautiful outside. Yesterday, like all day, was just probably the first really gorgeous spring day as far as spring weather goes. It was really beautiful outside, and I was inside most of the day doing things that I had to do. I got up and I did homework and worked out. Like, again, I'm walking on the treadmill, reading my book and running a little bit and all that. And then I went to work and did some things that I had to take care of for the end of the month, so that we can be ready for Monday whenever I go back to work and the new month hit. And then I think that I'd gone home and got ready to go celebrate. I got ready to go celebrate my 1-year anniversary with the daycare that I'm with. That was on the 11th, and I had planned to rent out a movie theater for anyone who wanted to come with work. And to be honest, it was a little bit disappointing because only 2 people signed up, but we had a good time. So it was me, those 2 other people, and then because only those 2 people had signed up to come, I went ahead and invited some other friends of mine. Some of them were there whenever I started working there, and another friend of mine. Just we've kind of we haven't seen each other in quite a long time, but anyway, so it was a lot of fun, and I noticed something really silly, and I kind of made a discovery about who I am, and it was a little bit of a bummer that the movie that I chose was X-Men Last Stand. And I love I love the first 3 X-Men movies that they made. And I was like almost throughout the whole movie, like it was getting towards the end, and I realized that almost through that entire time, I'm worried about everybody else having a good time because I knew at least one person hadn't seen the other 2 movies. And I'm like, there's so much, without knowing what's going on, this is kind of boring. And if you don't know what's going on and you're not familiar with the character stories and their interactions with each other, and I'm like, there are kind of some love affairs happening, and you don't know what's going on if you don't know, from the first 2 movies. So throughout probably 4/5 of the movie, I'm more worried about everybody else having a good time. And there were a couple other people that I wasn't sure if they'd actually seen all 3 movies to know what was going on. And so I was worried. I'm like, what if they're so bored right now? What if they're so bored right now? What if they're not having a good time? I hope that they're having a good time. And so I was more preoccupied with them having a good time than I was just, what? They came, they knew we'd probably be watching this movie. It was kind of a toss up between a couple of them. I'm like, and they came anyway, and they knew, and they didn't seem bothered with it whenever I told them before. They were just like, hey, free movie, and I'm like, so I should just be relaxing and enjoying the movie. And then about that time was when everything starts picking up towards the end, where, the movie starts to climax with all the action and the intensity of the stories and everything. And so it was good. But But it took me that long to realize that I'm like, I shouldn't be worrying about how they feel. I should be just having a good time. And if they don't have a good time, then they're welcome to leave. But, you know, that's up to them. So anyway, you can kind of see the sun over there. I don't know if you can see it with my camera, but there's kind of this spot where the sun is. So I just think it's neat. But anyway, so I need to get going. I'm so long-winded. And again, yeah, like I said, I've been kind of progressively running. And yesterday, like I said, we went to the movies. And then after that, it was my sister wanted to go to the gym. And I was like, let's go ahead and go. I'm like, let me grab my art book and then I'll read another chapter and we'll do that. So we went to the gym, I just walked. And I mean, my body was so tired. My legs were tired. And I had this weird moment on the treadmill where I was worried that I was going to misstep and like half step on the moving track and half step on the actual like solid unmoving part of the treadmill, and I was going to trip and hurt myself. So because I don't know, my body just wasn't coordinating well, and I think it was fine, but I think I got in my head a little bit about that. So anyway, that was weird, but then we went home after that. And so literally like this beautiful day yesterday, I didn't go outside and really enjoy it. And so that's one of the reasons why, again, I'm out here today, even though I do have more art homework that I have to take care of and get done, and then take these 2 quizzes. And then it's the Spanish hustle after that, because I haven't done any homework in Spanish and everything's due tomorrow night by midnight. So, but this is unfortunately and fortunately, it's not abnormal for me to leave things to the last minute and still get A's, because of the vocabulary that I do. I usually copy down the vocabulary like a bajillion times, and throughout the 2 weeks that we get to do these modules, yes, 2 weeks, and I wait to the last minute to do the actual like turning in the homework part. But as long as I've copied down that vocabulary, I'm usually pretty good for the homework. It's almost like it kind of sets me up for the homework that I have to do, so it's not so bad. And that's how I'm able to execute the homework relatively quickly and to get a decent grade on the homework as well. But anyway, so it's a hustle, you know. I'm just kind of at this point, it's crossing that bridge when we get there. With the end of the month stuff yesterday, or not yesterday, yesterday and the day before, it was just hustling to get that stuff done. And I've been so darn busy in the last I've just been really busy the last like year or so, and it's the busiest I've ever been in my life. But I've also surprisingly been extremely happy the last year plus of my life. So I've got a lot of things to be thankful for. I've had some extremely low moments as well, but you know, that's life. And so it's kind of getting past those, you know, jumping over those hurdles and making sure that you do the best that you can with what you have where you are. So anyway, today's a beautiful day. I'm gonna run, and my goal for today, originally it was 10 minutes on the treadmill, but again, I'm like, I got to get out and enjoy this weather like as much as I can. So 10 minutes on the treadmill yesterday, or 10 minutes was my goal for today. But because I chose to run in the park, my goal is to run the length of the park, which will end up being about 22 minutes for a mile and a half. So that's on the slower days when I'm out of practice, or if I'm not feeling great. So and I'm not a fast runner anyway, but it's probably going to be about 22 minutes straight. So that'll be a jump from 9 minutes that I was running. But also the fun thing again about being outside and running, like just kind of on like a road, is that you get to choose your pace, and you get to adjust that pace without, like, you just get to adjust that pace automatically. So that's what I will be doing. That's one of the things that I don't much care for as far as running on the treadmill goes, because if there is a pace that you want to run, and if you want to adjust that pace, you've got to do it manually by like hitting that little button to take it down or to go up or whatever. But out here I can go faster or slower at any moment, at any time, at my discretion. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I really love running outside as well. It's not just for the fresh air and the beautiful scenery and the quiet that you get. Whether you listen to music while you run or exercise or walk, or whether you choose not to, there is this beautiful peace about just coming out here and being by yourself and doing it. I do enjoy walking with other people as well, but like there's just this lovely, beautiful solitary peace that I get whenever I come out here and do it myself. So anyway, I would like to encourage you all, just go out and take advantage of the nicer weather, especially if you live in places where there is nicer weather. I know that, sorry, my hands are starting to get cold, but they'll warm up soon. This is not the kind of weather that's going to keep them freezing. But anyway, get out there and enjoy it. Go run, go walk. If you are wheelchair bound at this point, see if you can't get someone to help you. Unless you can do it yourself, that's fantastic. But see if you can't get someone to help you, and go outside and take a stroll. And you know, stroll is a very flexible word that basically means you can go out and you could walk and kind of just, or you can roll, whatever you need to do. So take a bike ride, whoever you are, go take a bike ride. I've got my bike at home, and I was thinking about riding my bike last night, not for last night, but I was thinking about the fact that the weather's getting nicer and I could start riding my bike if I wanted to. And I only live 2 or 3 blocks from work, so it would be really easy to ride my bike to work. So I'm really pumped about that possibility. And I'm only a mile from my gym too, so if I wanted to ride my bike to the gym, I could. But anyway, I'm gonna get to it. So have a lovely day, make great choices, and do the best that you can, be your best self. And I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day. Happy end of February and happy beginning of March tomorrow. All right, bye.